Welcome back. Now we are going ahead with innovations in marketing and marketing of innovations with reference to integrated marketing communication beyond messaging, or let us say I should not say beyond, including messaging and methods of communication. And we have already generated a chord in terms of how this may work or should work, and we have chosen some examples to discuss. And last time, you remember, I was talking about elephants. So many elephants going together with banners and people representing that organization, and products and distribution elements are generated there, and a buzzword is around what is happening and so on, and whole lot of an innovation in terms of communication and the message, and everything is flowing all together. That is where different methods of communication step in, and here we are looking in terms of how to be innovative as far as the methods go. First we will take a broader look, and then next session onwards I would be talking about different methods separately, and then would be integrating some of those once again, and then we would be going for a sort of a discussion wherein the concentricity of integrated marketing communication comes into play along with other marketing elements. Now, when we are talking of communication methods, there is a wide variety of methods available for communicating the desired message. And I started this discussion with how communication would have started flowing in, and we discussed about messengers and pigeons and everything. So, that is where this wide variety came in terms of technological support on the one side, the need of the communication to flow from this place or farthest of the places on the other side, the desire of the customer to be communicated about several things on the other side, and so on. So, everything came into play when we talk of how this evolved. So, it is a these wide varieties they came in, and they and as I said, as I told you last time, that they stayed, and many of those they became an important aspect for integrated marketing communication. So, in order to create brand synergy, it is necessary to utilize many methods and media, and you see that is where an important element of as far as integration of these methods came in, and we have talked about that. Such an integrated campaign will deliver messages and experiences which are relevant to different audience, which are sensitive to alternative channels and environment, and which collectively deliver the brand vision. Now, you see, before going ahead, I am reminded of one of the advertisements which I mentioned about in some of my earlier discussions, and especially in my course of integrated marketing communication, which is running on NPTEL right now. This advertisement is about a television wherein the service support of this television company gets a call from a girl, and she says that I stay in a far village along with my friends here in a house, and television is not working, and can you come early because we have to see a program and somehow. And this person makes all the efforts to the roughest of the terrains to reach that place, and attends to the complaint, and readies or prepares the television for viewing. And as soon as the television is plugged in, a program is coming up, and this girl who can't see, she says that one of my colleagues or friends, she is actually singing, she also stays in the same home, and she is singing today, and all of us would be listening to her. And somehow all the children who were staying there were differently able, they could not see. So, very emotional advertisement, a wonderful advertisement, and the company says that we are there to stand by you. Basically, you see, that is where brand vision, the perspective of getting associated with the customer is talked about in the storyboard, and whole of the story narrates how the company stands by you, and the message is well communicated. And as I told you last time, if somehow this organization justifies that advertisement by standing by you in your homes and telling you that we are there, and they come to you and ask about the experiences you are having in terms of their products go, it will keep on strengthening those things in due course of time. It may increase an initial cost for a while, but then it may strengthen a lot of satisfaction, and lot of loyalty in terms of as far as the whole situation goes, and that is where the relevance of communication methods come in. And look at this slide, and this has been taken from Masterman G and Wood E 2007 Innovative Marketing Communications by Rutledge. And you see, this list definitely would have grown up in due course of time, and if you will see that definitely has grown up. But look at the numbers, look at the list basically: public relations, publicity, corporate identity, lobbying, internal marketing, corporate events, direct sales, telemarketing, personal selling, customer service, and we would be going about talking about a few of these or many of these separately as well. Word of mouth, very important thing basically, and you would appreciate how exhibitions, promotional events, corporate hospitality, merchandising, point of sales, promotional merchandise, sales promotions, advertising. You see, the whole story started from advertising at one point of time long back, and advertising now is a part of integrated marketing communication at large, and that is where the relevance of innovation in messaging, in communication has come up to the stage, wherein advertising is one of these, and definitely quite a large portion in many cases, but is one of these. Product placement, direct response advertising, celebrity endorsements, testimonials, sponsorship, direct mail, email, and just to mention that many of the organizations, they do not advertise much. They do, but as far as the spending goes, for example, I would not say, and this is not backed up by any statistics or data, but it's just a matter of general observation which I have gone through. For example, Decathlon is doing exceptionally well, but I have not seen many of their television advertisements or audio visuals. For example, BYD, and I mentioned about this organization few sessions back, is doing very well, and we talked about in that slide. I remember that statistics in terms of BYD's growth is very high beyond Tesla Motors, but their communication is very specific in terms of, and I have not seen much of, especially in India, I have not seen much of audio visual advertisements in televisions about this company as well, although it's an automotive company and so on. And that is where I am talking about the integration of marketing communication methods as well as innovation within those methods. So, what kind of methods are they using, because becoming number one in sales is not an easy task, and they wouldn't have done it without integrated marketing communication and innovation in communication at large. And before I go move away from this slide, speaking of internal marketing, for example, now it's very interesting. You have to sell the concept or the belief about the product amongst the members of your organization before you go outside the organization to emphasize upon as far as the product goes. How can this be done? After the research and development team and production team has developed the product, and they go to the marketing department for that matter and sales department for that matter first of all, and then to even the HR department and to finance department at the end of the day, and in general whosoever is related to the organization, to tell them that you see, this is the product and you should believe in. Should this be the process? Or somehow, if we are conceiving a product and we go for a general internal sort of a campaign about gathering the elements around that product, feedback around that product, and I would be talking about co-creation later on, but you see, somehow we are talking to people that this is what we are trying to do. Yes, definitely we have to maintain secrecy in many cases, wherein research and development, they hold on their fortress up till the stage when they have come out with something and they have filed some patents and so on, but then internal marketing can always be done, and wherein in their involvement of the members of the team, wherein they are brought on board, and then the whole situation comes up along with their comments and their perspective, and even HR teams talk about kind of this, how the sales team can be trained on developing the perspective around this kind of a thing, basically because they would own that product from the very beginning stage. Many organizations do that, but this is lot of, this is associated with a lot of innovation in terms of as far as emphasizing upon the strength of the product and the service which you are going for within the organization, so much so that everyone becomes a brand representative at the end of the day when the product is out, because they are living with the product at this particular kind of a stage. They sort of own the product at this kind of stage. Even the support staff, support team, they start believing in the kind of product you are actually developing at this particular kind of a stage, and that is where relevance of internal marketing comes in. And you see, sometimes, and it is very interesting, you are looking at a long list basically, sometimes we have to, it might be a sort of a contradictory kind of a thing which I am about to say, but believe me, sometimes we have to denounce one or two modes of communications or methods of communications, or slightly make them sublime in front of the other methods, so as the acceptance of one kind of a method becomes stronger. For example, you may announce at the end of the day that, for example, your sales promotion thing, or basically your sales team, through direct sales, they may emphasize that we do not advertise much, but we know the customer better. They may say that at the end of the day, kind of. So that the customers which are being touched upon, or the targets which are being touched upon, and they ask this kind of a question that I have not seen many of your communications, and you are such a big and wonderful organization and your products are so good, and why are you not there in as far as the mass media goes? And you see, for actually answering this query and still strengthening your brand, you have to answer this in terms of denouncing the other methods, and by justifying that we do not do that because we are closer to you somehow, and those kind of things are there. There are several magazines which did not advertise for n number of years, and they resorted to direct mail and mailers and kind of postal services for mailing their magazines, as well as reaching to the customer through different kind of communication. Reader's Digest did wonders in terms of as far as this kind of a perspective goes. So, as I said, it might slightly be can be visualized as a contradiction in terms of denouncing one of the methods which may be a very prominent method as advertising in audiovisual advertising in television, but then you have to justify that, and this is where one of the innovative aspects by denouncement also comes in. It is always integration of different marketing communication methods, but sometimes we have to think about this. So, you see, and as I am saying that internal marketing perspective and developing the belief of sales team, why should sales team believe in terms of whatever they are saying? I have been studying insurance industry in India for a very long time, and I have been studying organizations like LIC and these kind of organizations, their marketing perspective. I have been talking to their representatives for quite some time, and I have realized that at the end of the day, it is a matter of belief which traverses from them to you. In today's circumstances, whenever I meet representatives of different kinds of organizations, banking and insurance, I realize that they openly express many a times that somehow they want to materialize this case, and these are the options, and these are good options, and these are comparative options. But somehow their belief is not that strong, and that does not traverses to you, and that makes the customer more indecisive in terms of, even the customer has decided to purchase a policy. And that customer, because have started looking for investment, somehow ends up purchasing a property at the end of the day, because it is a matter of installments which you have to create around whatever you want to pay the premium for insurance. So, that is a matter of installments, and on the other side you want to pay installments for as far as the this purchasing a property goes. So, that is where this the belief of sales teams comes in. Now, let us try and build up the case as far as media choices go. Choice of a medium for conveying the message is many, as we have just seen, and varied, and is closely related to and limited by communication methods, as far as the list we have just gone through, and it can be some more elements can be added to that. Therefore, method and media choices should be made in conjunction with each other, which we will be talking about definitely, in order to ensure that most appropriate combinations are selected. And you see, this is not just a combination making kind of a thing. We have to be innovative as far as conceiving the response function which can be generated from different kinds of methods, and the integrated effort, integrated effect which these methods would be bringing in. You would say that this can be modeling sort of thing. Basically, AI can support that, or let us say lot many software can support that. Cost element can be factorized in, and then the reach element can be factorized in. So many things can be done, but still you have to decipher that. That has to be foreseen beforehand, because as I told you that it is a cost element, and if it flows from this side, feedback definitely would come, but by that time you would have lost some money. How innovative we can be at every single stage. So, first innovation element at this stage is that once we are integrating one method with the other method, the effect of first method which we have utilized has to be measured immediately, even if it is not so possible. How it can be done? There are several ways and several means for that. You can look into the videos of my integrated marketing communication subject, which talks about how to look into as far as the measurement of different methods, advertisements or messages in different methods go. But just to give you a clue, we have to analyze the response immediately through different modes, through our ground team, through response functions. Sales definitely is one, but different methods give us a criteria how to be innovative in the choice of the next method and the integration between the both. For example, you have released an advertisement in a newspaper today, and that is a corporate advertisement which may not have immediate sales effect, and at the end of the day you would be going for the release of an IPO. How well the corporate image of your company is understood by your consumers, who can be your stockholders as well, and the others who would simply be your stockholders. This has to be immediately measured in terms of your intermediary teams, which would flow in and get the feedback and would give you a component of something which has to be said by the chairman in his next speech, and that would go into your public relations and other promotions and sort of, which would integrate the complete kind of a thing. Now, you see, here again we are coming about as far as how innovative you can be in terms of the next step. There are elements of media choices. For example, television can be local, regional, national, international. How we can go for one message which can be valid for local and international as well? There comes in as far as innovative perspective in messaging, as well as rationalized choice of television. Sometimes we may have to conceive or support the programs which can be locally lauded by the customers and the viewers, as well as internationally as such. Sometimes we have to associate ourselves with let us say programs or singers or songwriters or musicians who have international appeal. There are many people who are singing abroad in Hindi or Punjabi, which has a larger appeal globally. Can we associate ourselves with these kind of things and with the lyrics which they are going for, and justifying the product and the lyrics and the singers and the span between national and international boundaries? That is where the innovation comes in, because they have already gone for the kind of song they are writing and singing. We have to be innovative in terms of associating our thing with them if they allow us for that. Cinema, how can we be associated with a global perspective in terms of an international sort of a movie which is well accepted internationally? And talking of this, there can be a wonderful kind of a thought process associated with popularizing or communicating about cinema itself And I have talked about that earlier as well, and especially in my integrated marketing communication subject, where for example, this Black Panther, or let us say all the Batman movies, all the Spider-Man movies, all the Marvel movies basically, and many other movies largely, they are truly international movies. How producers have communicated about these movies, so much so that these movies, regardless of even if they are not dubbed sometimes, they become internationally popular. This we have, if you will look into the story of how Batman movies have been popularized, what kind of campaigns have been associated with them, how Spider-Man movies have been popularized, comics and structures and everything, t-shirts and everything related to that have come to as far as the international sphere goes, and you would realize that they have gone for a very innovative integrated marketing communication campaign around such movies, so much so that those movies have been repeatedly seen n number of times by n number of people globally and created history around the world. Look at Jurassic Park. And it's remarkable, before Jurassic Park was released, you might not have found dinosaurs models being sold in shops. Today every toy shop has at least one or two dinosaurs or different kinds of these kinds of models available, and children, they love these kind of things basically. Before that it was not such a common thing. Steven Spielberg created a whole lot of a storyboard around that movie, and his integrated marketing communication team, or their integrated marketing communication team, popularized that kind of a movie with a different kind of a perspective, taking those things to the fore, so much so that it has become a key element of our lives today. We have started discussing those, we have started writing articles on those, we have started actually watching documentaries associated with those, and so on. Radio again, you see, shortwave, medium wave, FM, how we can integrate that. And then I would be coming to these separately also briefly. Then print media, very interesting thing. You see, when internet based media was getting evolved, people foresaw that somehow print media might not work that much at the end of the day, because it is hard to publish, then newsprint is costly and so on. But to their surprise and not to my surprise, many a times I have been studying this for a number of years, and I realize that print media still is growing. If you will realize that communication in terms of news also has been used, has been sent to people in terms of an integrated fashion basically. Today you have flashes on Google, today you have flashes on YouTube videos, then you have similar kinds of news on newspaper which you read in sort of calm and quiet times of the day. Earlier newspaper was a method of choice in the morning times, when you spend so much of time on newspapers on the dining tables, even rush hours during the buses and during the your conveyance time or train time or somewhere. But today many people I have seen read newspapers in the evening, despite of evening newspapers and television news also being there. Sort of a behavioral change, but newspaper is still thriving, and so as it is thriving in itself and as well as the mode of communication in terms of the products go. So here some innovation in relation to that the behavioral change of people has come in terms of the advertisements also. Posters, outdoor media boards, I remember I saw one car being put up on an outdoor media board somewhere. And you see, talking about the car or putting the car, it's a lot of innovation associated with that as far as the whole situation goes. SMS, text messages, it's a common thing. Personal calls, we will be talking about that, and we will be talking about the deficiencies and efficiencies about these kind of things. Web is the most important thing. Website is the most important reason for people to stick to the organization's messages and the products as well, and we have seen that in case of Nike as well as Amazon as well as Flipkart and everything more or less. So websites are important, and we will be talking about that as well. Mails, person to person, we have been referring to that often. Exhibitions, you see, internet and a shift towards digital world has transformed, both of these things have transformed how the traditional methods, media and messages are created and exchanged. With more people owning a smartphone and having internet access, companies are targeting their communication through these personalized devices. And you see, very interesting example, DDB New Zealand and Tribal Worldwide New Zealand launched a campaign for Samsung New Zealand named iTest. In this campaign, Samsung made a mobile application named iTest, which the iPhone users can download on their phones. The app brought the Samsung experience to the iPhones without changing their phone. Interesting. It mimics the operating system of an Android phone and was a smart way of motivating the iPhone users who are very loyal to switch their phones. The campaign saw more than 10 million downloads of the app in across 220 countries. You see, we are talking of innovation here, and a very innovative method. Advancements in artificial intelligence have further opened up innovative way of using the media as well as the messages. Personalization of content using AI is a gold rush for advertisers, and we can talk about AI endlessly. As AI allows for micro segmentation of customers to deliver the relevant content to support a perfect relevant marketing campaign, Netflix motivates the customers as well as advertises about itself while AI being used, and it's a two-way method, and we will be referring to these kind of things later on. Creation of message have never been easier for anyone. Easy and simple prompts given by users can now be turned into meaningful content by applications like ChatGPT, Google Bard and Midjourney. And look at this slide, it's very interesting. You see, artificial intelligence has had a significant impact on marketing, communication, media, transforming how businesses reach and engage with their target audiences. Here are three key ways in which AI has influenced marketing communication. One is personalization, other is chatbots and virtual assistants, and the other is predictive analytics. And you see, my team generated this out of ChatGPT. So, all the above content was generated using ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a communication within itself and is a mode of communication as well, and you see, this is where AI is being demonstrated as far as the whole situation goes. If you have a product which can speak about itself and AI supports that, then you do not have to go for much of the communication at the end of the day. Heinz AI ketchup, it is a very interesting example. American food processing giant Heinz was quick to use the power of artificial intelligence in an innovative and genius way. The company released a video in which they wanted to know what artificial intelligence thought when it was given the prompt of a ketchup. You see, you want to know what AI thinks about you. For example, you Google your name and you would find some things on that in relation to your name. So, they used DALL-E 2 text to image software to search about ketchup in different and interesting ways. Each search provided images that are similar to the iconic Heinz packaging, and Heinz ended the video by saying that even AI knows that ketchup is Heinz. Very interesting way to tell people that AI understands what ketchup is. I would be coming back to you with lots of insights in terms of how innovative we can be in terms of different methods of communication, and subsequently how to integrate them innovatively. I will be seeing you back. I hope you are enjoying this up till now. Keep reading, keep visualizing, keep analyzing the perspective of innovation in whatever ways you can, especially in terms of marketing. I will be getting back to you. Till then, goodbye.